Hi everyone, how are you? I am well. I'm really enjoying my time here in New York. The weather has been incredible. And yeah, so today my live is with Sukh Padda of Bodisync. Sukh has a unique way of bringing together holistic healthcare and medical care and really giving his clientele the best of the best. But let me bring him on and let him and how he does. Hi, Sukh.
Hi, Deepa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Let me just
How's
sort
it?
these blinds out. I think maybe get a little bit of
You
too much
look
brightness.
clear.
Is that better?
You looked fine before and now, so
Okay, no worries, no worries. How are you?
you're
Can you hear
you're
me?
a bit glitch. You're glitchy. I don't
Okay,
know how.
cool. Okay, I can hear you. You can hear me properly?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You back in
So
the UK?
I've been, no, I'm still in New York having the time of my life. I'm not back
Brilliant.
for another 10 days.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Yeah, I
Enjoy.
went all out.
Yeah, why not? We all need that.
Exactly. So tell us,
Hmm.
I've gotten a lot of feedback on the title, this hybrid model of holistic healthcare and medical care. Can you give us a little insight on your background and how you ended up where you are today? I know it's a very long journey, but if you could give us a snapshot.
Sure, sure. So I've always sort of been interested in sort of health. I mean, I graduated in biology, so that interest has always been there. But then sort of life takes you in different directions. So I did biology because I enjoyed it, but then I sort of went into the corporate world. So I trained as an accountant. I didn't quite enjoy accountancy. Then I went into sort of banking. So a lot of times I was working for telco companies. Then I was working in banking for quite a number of years. And like a lot of people, I always had sort of back issues. I used to play a lot of sport when I was younger, so I had a lot of back issues. But like a lot of people, sort of always ignored them. Yeah, take a painkiller, never really done anything about it, and just sort of carried on with it. And to the point that about 2000, so 22 years ago, so I was sitting at work, I found a twinge, just didn't feel right. I was working in Slough at that time, so the journey back home was only 15, 20 minutes. But by the time I got home, my back was I was in so much excruciating pain, I couldn't get out of the car. So my brother literally had to carry me out. And the only way, and when I talked to a lot of clients, a lot of other people, the only way I can describe it was really being stabbed in the back, and any movement was a twisting of the knife. So I couldn't walk, I couldn't feed myself, I couldn't bathe. I was literally completely at the beck and call. I just got married as well. This was happening in 2001, so at the beck and call of my wife. So it was really, really excruciating. I mean, I went to a lot of treatment from the medical perspective. Osteopathy, chiropractic, physio, spinal traction, you name it, I've had it done. And it all worked to an extent, to a degree, but it's all short term. And the pain would then come back, and it would come back in serious bouts. And it got to the point because, I wasn't able to function, I wasn't able to do anything, I felt into a serious bout of depression as well, because it does affect your mental state. And, I just thought that it's all over, I'm not going to get better or anything like that. And, I was fortunate that a cousin of mine, she was actually seeing this guy in East London at that time. And she goes, look, this guy does a really unique type of treatment. Why don't you go and give him a go? He does acupuncture and things like that. So I thought, tried everything else, why not? So I went to see him, and I remember the first day, I was literally carried in and laid me down on the couch. And he sort of assessed me, and he started working on my legs and my feet. And I was in pain, and I remember, still feel bad when I think about it. So I literally started shouting at him, what the hell are you doing? It's not back. Then he described to me the concept of the body being integrated and linked, how one bit it links with the other. Now, I studied biology, and in my final year, I studied human physiology, anatomy. We always look and view the body in parts, but we never looked at it as the sum of all of those parts. So it really sort of ingrained that. And my poor wife would drive me sometimes twice a week up to East London to get this treatment. And after about 8 weeks, I started getting better. I was starting to weight bear a little bit more, and I could actually start doing a lot of things for myself. And it was like, wow, this is really helped me. And I carried on. And then really, I learned, and I said to the guy, look, I want to learn this medicine, but I want to learn it for me, to help me. And my dad, we've got a history of back issues in our family. My dad suffers from a slip disc. So that was the initial, how I got into it. I just wanted it. And I was fortunate enough, I began my training in 2001. I graduated in 2004. And then I treated some of my dad's friends who worked in Heathrow at that time, baggage handling. So word sort of got out. So I started treating a lot of friends and family and like that. And for a long time, then I really got into it. But for a long time, I was still doing my banking job, and I was still doing the treatment side because I enjoyed it. So, you know, you can call it a side hustle, or you know, want of a better word, for a number of years. But then as my interest grew in it, I started doing a lot. You know, I'm trained as a hypnotherapist as well, and that's not to offer hypnotherapy, but really to understand the brain-body interaction and the connection between the two. Then I trained myself as a phlebotomist because I'm from a non-medical background, you know, to be able to do vitamin infusing, etc. Then we got into sort of the whole facial treatment, the hair treatment. But again, it's always been in view of looking at the body holistically. I mean, so over the number of years, and you know, my dad always jokes, he goes, you're studying more now than you ever did when you were young. Even now, I'm still learning. I'm off next week to Ireland to do another course, but it's because the interest is there. And, you know, in this field, it's continuously changing. And our biggest thing is, you know, we always want to do what is the best for our client. And now when we're talking about the holistic medical hybrid model that I mentioned, and what I mean by that is we always view the person as a whole. So I always say to people, I don't treat a condition, I don't treat a symptom. For example, I would treat you, Deepa, as a person. And, you know, and that means sometimes people come in, Sukh, I've got headaches, a bad neck, I've got sciatica, I've got diabetes, I've got, you know, it could be multiple issues. That's fine. We'll deal with them all because you're going to view and look at the body as a whole. And we will use techniques which are 1,000 years old, so the Japanese body alignment, cranial sacral therapy, acupuncture. And then we will also incorporate modern technology, modern advances. You know, I'd use ultrasound, I use infrared heat, I will use oxygen therapy. Again, it's everything that would help that person. So it's not like, oh, it only has to be the holistic line and that's it. Yeah. No, what's in the best interest for my client? And sometimes it can even, because sometimes people come to me, they have a knee issue and the cartilage is gone, so I need to have an operation. And we say, well, really, probably that is the best bet because there's nothing we can do. But we will balance you pre-operatively so that your body's able to take the operation much better. And then post-operatively, we'll balance you. So again, it's always in the best interest of the client. And that's always our number one focus. And that's how I always sort of work and sort of go about the treatment.
So the work that you do, okay, you've expanded and you've unfolded from one thing to another, all because you understand that it's not just one thing. You can't tell people, you work out, you'll be perfectly fine. No, it's everything because we are layers.
Exactly.
But then what do you call yourself? Like, well, what are you?
This is a very good question. I mean, I can talk about it for hours, and I always say to a lot of people, the best way is always to experience it. But I always view myself as a holistic healer. Holistic because we view the body from a holistic perspective. And you're absolutely right in what you said there, Deepa, because look, we have many systems in our body. We've got the skeletal system, the respiratory system, the nervous system. No system works on its own. They all work in conjunction with each other to keep the body functioning. And that is why we always treat and balance from an emotional perspective, an internal perspective, and a physical perspective. And yet you can overpin all of this with a spiritual perspective as well, because each of those are interlinked. Our emotions dictate our internal well-being, which dictates our physical, and it can go the other way around. And the reason why I talk about this, I've been there. I've experienced each one of these. And I used to be the biggest skeptic of holistic medicine because I'm from a science background. So, yeah. But I've been through it myself, my own experience. So when I have clients lying on that couch, it wasn't like, you know, I grew up and said, right, I want to be a holistic healer. My own pain and my own sort of journey with my own back issues and my physical pain brought me on this path. So I can fully understand when our clients are on there. I can understand the apprehensiveness of what they're going through. And a lot of clients have said to me, you know what, sir, this is almost like the last chance saloon for us. We've tried everything else. Now we're going to give you a go and see if it works. But I was like that. So when I went to see the guy in East London, I tried everything else. And, you know, he literally was my last chance. But, you know, maybe, you know, I was destined to go on this path. As an Indian, my dad always, you know, we always say my dad always wanted me to be a doctor. Never quite worked out that way. It went from a different perspective. But I'm very, very fortunate in that I'm able to do something that I'm very passionate about and that I really enjoy. And the biggest buzz of all of it is when you can really help someone, and that is something very special. And I'm very blessed to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Like showing up, loving what you do. It doesn't feel like work. It
doesn't, yeah.
Feels like you're doing art. It's a different way of art. You know, you're looking at the human body. It's like, okay, how can I help? And I love it when people, yes, it starts off with a headache or a migraine or something like that. But where is the alarm, the fire start? Where has it started from?
Yeah. And sometimes it couldn't be in a lot of instances. Say to people, a lot of the things that you're getting, the trigger is emotional. Now that emotion could be just subconscious. It could be suppressed emotion. As we do the treatment, sometimes that emotion comes out. You know, people could shout, they could scream, they could cry. But I always say, don't hold that emotion in, let it come out. And I always say to people, when we begin the healing journey, for example, say you've got issues which have been going on for like 10 years, you have layers and layers of imbalances built up. And I say to my clients, when we actually start this journey, it's almost like peeling an onion. We're peeling away those layers of imbalances till we get into, okay, what's the cause? Then when we dealt with the cause, we're a machine. So then it moves from treatment to maintenance. I have clients who I've been seeing for 15 years now, and almost the time I started. But that's not because they're not fixed, that's because they are more proactive now. They want to be able to prevent ill health. Because in Eastern medicine, they always say, we don't understand the concept of the West. Why you go to a doctor when you're ill? Why get ill in the first place? And I think one of the things I've certainly seen in clinic, and I've talked to other practitioners about it, is since the pandemic, people now are incorporating that mindset more. They are becoming more proactive with their health, which is, so, you know, if one good thing has come out of this, that is it. And I'm seeing a lot more people embracing natural treatment and natural ways of healing and health as well, which is really good to see.
I have to say that about yoga too. Like, yoga exploded. And, you know, for me, I personally flourished so much during lockdown because people understood yoga somehow is linked with mental well-being, physical well-being, and they just gave it a go, and it was phenomenal. So yes, and yes, it was very challenging during the lockdown, but at the same time, there were quite a few blessings that have come out.
Yes. And now people understand the need to be more proactive in their health. Because look, we've got the COVID virus, now we've got the monkeypox virus. There's always going to be something coming. But if our bodies are more balanced, we're stronger, we can fight off a lot of these things as well naturally. So that's a really good thing. And also for people's emotional well-being. Because what I saw also is, there's been a lot of talk about mental health awareness, definitely for the right reasons. I've always been a strong advocate of that. And since the pandemic, I've seen a lot more people coming in with those types of issues. But also younger people, younger males, Asians, a lot more. Because I'm from that generation. A lot of people are, if I had anything like my dad would be like, come on, get on with it. You're a guy, come on, you're stronger than get up. We were not, exactly. we were not taught to show our emotions, but I've got 2 teenage boys now, so me and my wife really emphasise to them the need to open. It may not, it's not like they have to come and talk to us, anything, but as long as they're opening up to someone, and now a lot more people are coming into clinic for that, they are opening up more, and they're understanding it more. Now they're understanding, okay, so this is why I get heartburn and stuff. This is why I got the physical, yes, because it's also linked to your emotional state. So we do a lot of work from that perspective as well.
I love it. I love that everything is about getting to the root.
Yes.
And the root can be various things. And, just because you have shoulder pain doesn't mean the pain is coming from the shoulder. It can be coming from anywhere.
Exactly.
Someone's written a great little sharing about you.
Mm-hmm.
Simrit, she's shared, Sukh has helped my baby since he was 3 months. I can't fully say I understand what the therapy is, but it's magic. Works on a whole body level and have noticed improvements in my son. How
Yeah.
powerful is that?
It is, and the beauty of this medicine is obviously we adapt it to the client, but the premise is all the same. I mean, the youngest client I've treated has been 1 week old. The eldest I've treated has been 97. So such is the diversity of this treatment, and especially with children, because even if a child is born, I would say normal birth, no cesarean, no forceps, just normal. Even then, if you imagine that child has been now, in the uterus, it's in the womb, it's all squashed up. So when we get when we get parents bringing in their children, we just lightly stretch out the child. We do a very light cranial on them, and what it does then, a lot of babies come from colic or they've got digestive issues or they're constipated, etc. But because now we're stretching out the baby, opening up the whole body, the baby's development is going to be a lot better as they're growing. They're going to be able to do that, and that is a classic example of it. And I had one parent who brought their 6-month-old baby boy, and from the day the baby literally was born, he was crying constantly, and they were saying, "So it's got to such a point we cannot enjoy our son because he's constantly crying. We've taken him to a doctor to say it's a baby, it's cries." So they brought him in here, we had a look, and he was jammed all on the right side, the poor thing, because the baby cannot talk. So obviously he's under distress. So when we realigned the baby, got rid of all of the tension, then the father texted me, he goes, "So I can't." The father then came in for treatment as well, he goes, "So I cannot believe it, completely different baby." And he goes, but the most beautiful part of it is, he goes, "So we can enjoy our child now," which is phenomenal. So it's beautiful for the parents, but it's beautiful for the child as well, because, the baby's suffering, and, how can a baby express that? It can only cry. So we see a lot of that, and then a lot of people just bring their baby in as well, and they just say, "Look, we just want a nice balance for him." Because when my oldest was born in 2004, so I was just on the cusp of qualifying. But then I took him to my teacher, for his treatment, and touch wood, both of my sons, we've done a lot of that work with them, so they have a very strong foundation, and touch wood, they very rarely get ill if they do, but because they've got such a strong foundation, I think that's really key to do that.
I relate. Both my children, as soon as they were born, the first thing I went to go make sure was that their C1, C2 was in place, like
Perfect.
not jammed, not
Yeah.
and
Perfect.
the rest of their spine, because you are as fit, as young, as healthy as your spine. And I love that you focus on that, because it's key. It's
It is
integral.
really key. It is really key, and even we do the treatments on pregnant women as well. To realign them, to make the birth as easy as possible, and things like that. So the calmer the mother is, the more aligned the mother is. That's all going to transcend down to the baby as well. So there's such a strong bond between the mother and child that it really does. So and children are amazing to treat because they respond so quickly to the treatment. It's actually amazing. I have them sleeping on, they fall asleep on the couch and they're snoring away. It's just an amazing feeling afterwards, and for the parents as well, definitely.
Absolutely. A peaceful child is a peaceful parent. When the child is on edge, it's like, okay, children do cry, children
Yes.
do throw tantrums, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's not normal to be hysterical like that.
Exactly. And
It's
constant. Yeah.
and constant,
Yeah.
and it's exhausting, and listening to it is exhausting. Imagine being in that
Even
position,
there.
and
Yeah.
no child deserves that. And it's
No,
just
no.
it's a quick check, a quick balance, and a much easier childhood.
Exactly, and a much better development as the child grows as well. So because you really hit it at the core. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What are 3 tips that you would give to someone who's never been into holistic healthcare,
Hmm.
never really cared about holistic
Hmm,
healthcare?
hmm,
What
hmm.
what would you recommend?
Um, I'll start off with this comment that I would always say, keep an open mind. I was there, very abrupt to it. I'll give you a very quick example. I sometimes get a lot of couples coming in. It could be husband, wife, girlfriend, or boyfriend. And it's normally the lady who has the treatment. The guy will come in, yeah, I've just brought her in, don't really believe in this mumbo jumbo. That's fine. I never say anything. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's fine. 2-3 treatments in. Obviously, he's seeing the effect on his partner coming. So, nothing wrong with me, but just give me a once over. Yeah? And you give a once over. No one's purely, totally balanced. You'll always find a number of things. But then it's not converted, but then they understand more. Then their mind is more. Because I say to people, you cannot drag someone in to get this treatment. They have to come off their own free will. So what I would say is always have an open mind to it. Now, if I look at it, now if I take it from mental balance and well-being, and these are the tips I tell all my clients to do. Mental, meditate. And, you know, I'm not on about you have to spend hours of meditation. 5 or 10 minutes out in your day, close your eyes, meditate, focus on your breathing. There's lots of apps and things out there which will teach you. A lot of things people feed back to me, oh, I can't switch off, lots of thoughts. Let the thoughts come, because if you try and fight them, you'll never do it. The more you practice, those thoughts will just come and they won't have any impact. You'll find that peaceful, tranquil place. So definitely meditation. Remember, in Japanese medicine, they say where the head goes, the body follows. So it's very, very, very important to have that balance up there. Internally, look, everyone knows we need to eat more healthy, drink lots of water, etc., etc. I have a lot of clients in here. Sukh, I eat really healthy. I exercise regularly. I've got this stubborn belly fat I can't get rid of. The other thing that we don't do, we need to do more of is detox. We need to clean ourselves internally. And the rationale I give that is if you look at our car, we service it every year. We change the air filter, the pollen filter, we change the oil. Why? Because we want to keep the engine going and working optimally. It's the same with our bodies. We need to clean ourselves internally, our organs. Now, we do a detox protocol, which cleans your blood, your liver, your kidneys, your digestive system. But there's lots of other detox protocols out there. So I would always encourage people to look at those and do that as well. Because then, even if you are eating healthy, then your absorption of those nutrients will increase the more cleaner your system is inside. Definitely, because that's really important. Because a lot of people are not getting the right nutrients or the absorption of the nutrients because they are not cleansed inside. Thirdly, and I know Deepa, you'll be a big advocate of this, physically movement. We're not moving as much. Especially since the pandemic, you know, a lot of us are working from home. Before we know it, 6-7 hours we're sitting there, yeah? So I say to people, go for a walk in the evenings, you know, take up a sport, do yoga. You know, I know you're a really good advocate of yoga. We've launched a very simplified yoga for wellness series, which you only need 1 minute a day, simple movement, simple technique, but trying to get into that good habit of doing that. Move, even if you're at the computer, you know, set your alarm every 30 minutes or something, get up and stretch. But then I say to people, drink a lot of water, because if you do, you'll have to get up and go to the loo. So you're moving. So those are the 3 things I think, you know, really, really, you do all of those and they'll really work in tandem, and you will notice a lot of difference when you start doing that simple thing. And it's things that don't require massive change, because I know everyone's busy, and I always try and do things which is really easily able to, for people to incorporate in their busy lives and schedules as well. So hopefully, you know, that some of that will, you know, people take it on board and start trying doing that.
It's like music to my ears. I love it. I have a testimonial to share from Susie Mon for you, Sukh. And Susie is a beautiful soul. And, you know, she is a celebrity, people. So Sukh doesn't work with just, you know, certain people. He works with everyone. So Sukh is this is Susie's testimonial. Sukh is a miracle worker. It's so good to see both of you collaborate and discuss all things health and well-being. I've had numerous treatments from Sukh. Sukh, it's been a very Sukh, it's been a very educational journey, reaping the benefits. Thank you, Susie. I mean, this amazing. Is just incredible.
And that's it's things like, you know, when you get sort of feedback like that, how you can help people. That is really, and it's such a fulfilling thing that I'm doing, and that is why I'm very, very blessed to be able to do it. And you know, I always say, look, we're always destined in our path, and maybe this was my path. I just had to go through it sort of a long-winded way. But in a way, I don't regret my path into it, because now I understand from the client's perspective as well what they're going through, because I've been there myself. So I know all of those thoughts are going through. But also, more crucially, I know that it works. So that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, definitely.
It's fully tested by you.
It is fully, really tested, yes. Definitely.
What's one book that has changed your life? It may not have anything to do with what you do, but what's one book that you would recommend and, you know, you still look to at times?
Yeah, this is sort of health related. It's a few years ago I came across a chap known as the Iceman, or Wim Hof. He's known, as people probably know him better. And the book is The Making of the Iceman. Now, if you read about Wim Hof and his life and how he got into what he's doing, I mean, he went through extreme trauma. I mean, I went through pain to get to where I was, but his was, you know, and he's openly shared this, you know, his wife was suffering from severe depression. She committed suicide. At that point, he was left alone with 4 young children. He couldn't take the pain. And one day he was just running in the snow, running as he was doing, he was taking his clothes off. All of a sudden, he just sat in the middle of this snow, and he goes, I didn't feel cold. For the first time in my life, I felt at peace. So he developed cold therapy, basically, the cold showers, being in the cold baths and all of that, and his breathing technique. And I've followed his journey for a number of years. And the beautiful thing about Wim Hof is there's just so much out there that he puts out there free of charge, because he's really passionate in what he does, and he wants to help people. And I say to my clients, always 2 things if you can learn, is learn his 2 techniques. The cold therapy, so you start off with cold shower. You know, you don't just turn it really cold and just stand under and shiver. There's a technique, and he shows you how to get used to it. And his breathing techniques, and I do them, and I can tell you, they are real game changers. But it's also his journey. I can sort of relate in part to what he went through to get where he was in terms of his treatment, his therapy, which is now he's sharing with the world. So different states of trauma, but pretty much similar journey. And I've been following him for a number of years. But that really, especially when I started doing his techniques, it really enhanced my own treatment as well. And I know for a fact it's helped a lot of my clients who have told to adopt that thing. So that is, I have to say, really amazing book that I read. So definitely worth reading.
I haven't read it. I'm gonna pick it up.
Really worth reading.
Yeah.
And he details his method in there as well. But it's just understanding how a normal person got to where he's, and the beauty of it is, and which is what I say to people, what we do isn't magical, isn't rock, and we all have the ability to do it. We just have to believe in ourselves to be able to do it. And this is what he puts across as well, that he's just an ordinary guy. There's nothing magical in what he does. Everyone has it. But we've just got to make our mind stronger to believe that we've got it within us to do. And I think that resonates a lot. And I think a lot more people can really help themselves by adopting that mindset as well. So yeah, amazing character.
Thank you for this. And my final question, this quantum well-being event that's being put together, and you know, what made you feel like you aligned with it? What made you say yes, like, yes, I'm going to go and exhibit my work and show up and be a part of this huge event? Like, what made you say yes?
Yeah, I mean, I get quite a lot of invites to do quite a lot of shows during, and I used to do a lot of these back in the day, but now I hardly do them, or do very few. And you know, when I heard about your show, obviously I always do my research, I look at it. But one of the things that really sort of got to me was your ethos, because it's all about looking at layers. You know, our well-being, our health is not made of one layer; it's multiple layers. And I know one quote you put on there is mind, body, and soul, and that is. It fits in like a glove with our ethos. We always balance emotionally, internally, physically, multiple layers all working together to look at it. And you know, some of the speakers you have there, some of the therapists and everything, you know, those are amazing people, and looking at them. And I always look, you know, my journey is always continuously learning. I don't know everything. I'm an open book. I continuously learn. So I love meeting like-minded people like that and learning from them and learning new techniques, which I can pass on to clients, or I can practice for my own well-being, and, you know, and also share what I have as well. So, and also it's select exhibitors. It's a small niche group of exhibitors, very like-minded individuals. So this is why I'm really encouraging people who are really open to health and well-being, what to do, or who are thinking about it. I don't know where to start. This is going to start my journey. It's definitely come to the show, because you'll have so many people to talk to, and even you yourself, people. You know, you're very approachable, so people can, you know, reach out to you, find out more about it. But you know, if you're beginning in your journey, this is the place to go. You can meet us as well. We're going to be offering free mini taster sessions, so you can actually feel what I'm talking about, what this treatment is about. And also, you know, even seasoned therapists or people who've adopted holistic health for a number of years. Like I said, you know, I'm an open book. I'm always learning. I'm sure, you know, it'll cater for everyone. Everyone will get something out of it. So I'm really excited. You know, it's our first time we're going to be exhibiting this, so we're really excited to be there. And also, yeah, thank you for the opportunity and the invite for us to be there as well. So really looking forward to it.
Thank you for saying yes. And honestly, I highly recommend all of you to come to the event and meet these gifted souls. These people don't do what they do because it's fun or cool, or they don't have a choice. They only have bills to pay. They do it because the gift of helping and serving is priceless. They are following their passion, their purpose, and this is their mission. So yes, come and be a part of a community that is just focused on the greater, the more holistic. When I say greater, I'm coming from a place of oneness.
Yes.
So
But it's that
thank you
bigger
for
picture.
this.
Yeah, no, it's that bigger picture, viewing the body as a whole, viewing the person as a person, rather than parts. It's all of it. Yeah.
Thank you for this. I'm telling you, you've dropped some amazing nuggets, and I am in absolute awe. And you've really reignited different parts in me as well. So thank you so much for
My
this.
pleasure.
Like if I was there in person, I would have squeezed you.
No, and I'm glad, and you know, people who know me know this. I could talk about this for hours because I'm so passionate about it. But part of what I talk is also to try and help people, just try and educate people. Not that I know everything, but as much I can only share my experience and my thoughts with people as well. So, you know, just sow that seed, so hopefully, you know, that interest in people will grow a bit more, and then they adopt a more holistic lifestyle.
You said something incredible. Educate people. Even when anyone practices yoga with me, I tell them, I'm like, look, 1 hour a week with me is amazing. But 15 minutes every day on your own is powerful. So here are the tools. This is the mudra. This is the pranayam. This is the pose. Just do, even if you do these 3 things for 5 minutes a day, you're gonna thrive. It's about educating. So thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. And then that's exactly what we do with our clients. We educate them in between sessions. I give them tools. I give them bits and pieces that they can do in between. Not just them, other members of the family as well, you know. And it's absolutely right what you said there, Deepa. I always say to people, it's a journey together. You know, I will work to balance you, but there's certain things you need to do for yourself as well. And we're in this together. So, you know, I cannot do everything on my own. You cannot do everything on your own as well. So, you know, we connect and we work together, because the end goal is for that treatment to work and for that person to get better. Definitely.
Absolutely. Raising collective consciousness through well-being and holistic healthcare.
Definitely. The best.
Thank you for this. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these with you. I think it's a great way to educate. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And look forward to meeting you in person.
Likewise. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.